So it's another evening walk. I'm going to be discussing the inaccuracy of the average person. The average person, right? Like completely understand why you wouldn't trust the average person to be like a neurosurgeon, because the sloppiness of it all, right? Like talking about this thing, that thing, and the other, and um, you know, it's like this thing, that thing, and the other. Um, the sloppiness of the average person, they're like they um they like, if you're a neurosurgeon and you messed up, right? Like the average person, like the bureaucracy and the attention that the world demands from the average person is definitely too much. And I mean, a lot of evil is born out of ignorance. So the person didn't even mean to do what they did. Then for that reason, videos being made here. Um, Second. Videos being made here. A lot of the evil is like out of ignorance. The person, uh, they, person was ignorant, and they made a mistake, right? They made a mistake. They didn't know. There's typically like a lack of information, but also just like to accurately, like for me, I like growing up. There was a lot of arguments with regards to basically just like even stepping and throwing a sock on the ground. That wasn't acceptable. Some people might argue that that's strict. Others might argue that it's that it's just basic hygiene. I don't wash dishes. I don't do those kinds of things because it's a waste of time and fresh water. We only have so much fresh water. um and then I it's the inaccuracy, right? Like this idea that you can just have everything, and people want to have their cake and eat it too. And um like like they want to have their cake, they want to eat it too. The evil in the world is, I mean, if you want to argue that humans are evil by default, just by default they're born, kind of like what the Bible says about people, right? Like the Bible immediately says that you know um we're all born sinners after what Adam did, right? The first sin. Whether you believe that or not, you believe whatever you believe, but the message, the evilness, like like obviously, like I don't want to be the guy to say that just stepping outside is an evil act, but it is, right? Because like you are draining resources, you are draining yourself, you're draining the ability to walk, you're draining something, right? Whether you wanted that or not, it is the truth. um you know uh I wouldn't know how else better to say it, um because the evil, really, it's a lot of just accidents, right? Like it's sloppiness, accidents, and a lot of people are just sloppy with it. Like the proper way to do these things, like it's not with a unsharpened pencil, and you're driving on a road, and you see where I'm walking, like it's like there's like potholes, and there's like grass, and there's trees, and it's obviously a mess. And I'm not the guy who's a perfectionist who thinks that everything is going to be like with laser accuracy, like, and I'm not asking for that, right? Like you're parking your car, I'm not asking that it's within like like any precision. But the problem is like, not only the societal demands the laws seem to reflect that, right? And but also not the laws, just the not just the laws, but the um uh you know the nature of the person, right? Like it's like they don't accept a lower quality than what's described. And you could spend your whole life trying to properly cook a soup, or obtain one of those university degrees, And to some extent, I do think that the society runs on the fact that um, because somehow we've accepted that any reality can just come in here and do whatever they have to do. You have like these people spawning like through portals, and um, and the average person, right, like without experience, they're not capable